So last night's play was ridiculous, and we consider it to be a win despite the financial setback. Why? Well, let's get started, and I'll tell you. Last night, we took a loss on the books, but if ever there was a need for an asterisk, it was last night. When we made the pick of Vandy plus the 7 points at home, the news of the 3 players on the team sitting the game out had not yet hit the wires. At game time, that news was out, and the line had jumped from plus 7 to plus 12.5. And what did Vandy do without their 3 best players? They still managed to prove our point and cover that spread. So while we took the loss for getting in early, we feel that much more confident about the decision and know full well that had those 3 players been on the court, Vandy would have indeed won this thing outright. The takeaway here is that we will be looking to take Vandy again in the future, provided those 3 dudes are back in the lineup, and we will be looking to bet against Tennessee the next chance we get as well. The market isn't going to know that Tennessee's 12-point win last night was bullshit. Now, you might be thinking, shit, the lesson here is to never put the play in until right before the game. But we don't hold that view. We could have just as easily benefited from getting the bet in early if news broke of an injury on the Tennessee side. So when you're betting, we think the takeaway is to just try and be consistent so it all evens out. If you bet early all the time. And if you bet ahead of the game, then bet that way all the time. Our Bad Beats corner of the night is one that also happened to make many Canadians very proud out there. But if you're not Canadian and you had the Spurs to win on the money line against the Oklahoma City Thunder, all you were left with was complete despair and the question, who the fuck is Lou Dort? Let's watch.
Defense. What the fuck? No. Oh, fuck. Who the fuck is Lou Dort? Fucking asshole.
Loser! Okay, let's get down to it and talk today's plays. That's right, we said plays, because we've got 2 college hoops games we really love. The first play we have for you is going to sound like a real bonehead call, but we love taking Iowa as a 5-point dog on the road at Powerhouse, Michigan. Here's why. 1, beneath the surface. You see, on the surface, this thing might be screaming out Michigan with an easy win. After all, Michigan is 11-0 at home this season, 8-3 against the spread at home, 9-1 over their past 10 games, and 8-2 against the spread over their past 10 games. Fucking fire! But beneath the surface, and upon closer glance, Michigan is showing signs of cooling off a bit over the past couple of games. Before the past 2 games, Michigan was consistently blowing teams out of the water. But they went and hosted Rutgers and couldn't cover the spread before going on the road to Ohio State and just barely covering the spread. Now, Iowa, on the other hand, is just 4-4 on the road and 4-6 against the spread over their past 10. But again, when we break it down here, looking at recent games, Iowa is far more impressive, winning 4 of their past 4 outright and 3 of the past 4 against the spread. And this includes super impressive road wins where they absolutely obliterated the spreads at an up-and-coming Michigan State team and very solid Wisconsin squad. 2, common opponents. This is where it gets even more interesting because as strong as Michigan has been, with the exception of Ohio State where it was close, Iowa has done a much better job against the rest of the common opponents here. This includes Wisconsin, Rutgers, and Northwestern. 3, the other giant. A lot of Michigan's success has been about their 7-foot rising star center in Hunter Dickinson. Most college teams don't have an answer for that kind of size and talent. But you know who does? Iowa. Because Iowa has Luka Garza, a 6'11 senior who also happens to be Iowa's all-time leading scorer, a great fucking shooter, last year's Big Ten Player of the Year, and a consensus first-team All-American. So that's our first pick of the day. We love Iowa plus the 5 points as a road dog and actually think they could easily pull off the upset and win this thing outright. Oh, and by the way, Iowa is no slouch of a team. Yes, Michigan is number 3 in the land, but Iowa is pretty good as the 12th best team in the nation heading into tonight's matchup. Our second pick of the day is a late game where we love taking Washington State as a 9-point dog at Arizona. Here's why. 1, against the spread. This stat is key and really stands out. When we look at the against the spread numbers, it's a tale of two tapes. Arizona is a very unimpressive 5-9 against the spread at home and 4-6 against the spread over its past 10. Meanwhile, Washington State is a super 5-1-1 on the road against the spread and 6-3-1 in its past 10 against the spread. 2, recent performance. Arizona hasn't been good at all down the stretch, losing 2 of its past 3. On the other side, Washington State has won 2 of its past 3 and has crushed the spread in its past 2 matchups against Stanford and Cal. 3, head-to-head. These two teams played a very tight contest at the start of the year that went into overtime. Washington State lost that game by 4, but easily covered as an 8.5-point dog in that one. So forget about Washington State just thinking about covering the 9-point spread today. We think this sets up for a really good opportunity for Washington State to be thinking about winning this thing outright. 4, ineligibility. Arizona can't be feeling good about the fact that as things get exciting into conference tournament and NCAA tournament time, they won't be able to participate because of ineligibility due to infractions. We think this definitely is an added variable that should play into Washington State's favor. And so there you have it, folks. We love taking these 2 road dogs in tonight's picks. We love Iowa +5 at Michigan, and we love Washington State +9 at Arizona. Godspeed and good luck.